Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the weird location. We're in my room and I stack all of my currently reading, just finished stack on these bookshelves behind me. And I didn't feel like lugging a big stack of books downstairs just to turn around and bring them back upstairs because all of my read books are upstairs. So the shelves that are up here are my read books. These two behind me are favorites. And then I have a couple over here that are also read books. And then I have my special editions up here too. Read and unread. So I didn't feel like taking everything downstairs because we got back from Disney last week and I'm exhausted still because I've been working my butt off trying to recoup money from overspending at Disney World. If you can hear the birds in the background, I apologize, but Jeffrey gets cranky when his TV show's not on, and so he's really excited right now. His eyes are super blown out, dilated, and he is having a blast playing and watching the birds on TV. So I figured the birds on TV wouldn't be a bad background noise. I also have Sammy right next to me because he's so cute. And he's like, man, leave me alone. He doesn't like hugs. He's not a huggy puppy. All right, so for the month of August, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. For the month of August, I read 13 books. I would have read more, but I was in Disney. And when I was in Disney, I didn't read. If I did anything outside of Disney stuff, it was play Cozy Grove on my Switch. So a little bit lighter for this month, but still 13 books is very respectable. I'm very happy with the progress that I have made. So I'm going to start with the stuff that's in my pile and then I'll go to my phone, which is where everything that's not in my pile is. So the first thing on my pile is the entire trilogy of the Dreamland Billionaires books. So cute. Absolutely loved all of them. I did listen to them, which was even more helpful, but these were adorable. The first one is Rowan and Zara. She is an employee at Dreamland and he has to be the CEO. So he's required to be a temporary CEO and have a new big idea for improvements on the parks in order to get his inheritance. The entire series is about Grandpa dies, Grandpa Billionaire, which would be like Walt Disney, dies and gives everybody these tasks they have to do in order to get their inheritance. His was to be CEO and improve parks. Of course, there's a romance in here. It's really cute. It's definitely a grumpy sunshine. It was darling and I loved it. The next one on the list is Declan and Iris. Declan has to have kids, get married and have kids. And when the latest contract for a bride falls through, his assistant steps up and says, I will marry you and you can knock me up so that you can get your inheritance, because they're good friends and she figures that it won't be so bad. Really cute friends and lovers. And then the last one is Callahan and Elena. This one's a second chance romance. He has a house by a lake that he needs to fix up and sell. She lives in the house. So this is also second chance romance. They had a fling one summer when they were younger, when they were like 18 years old, and now they're like revisiting it because they have to stay on the property together and sell the house together. All three of them were adorable. These are the first Lauren Asher books I've ever read, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of them. The next book on my stack is The Honey Witch. I love this copy because it's so pretty. It was adorable. I really like it. It is definitely a witchy book. As you can tell, it's based around honey. It's based on this like special island, and they have ash witches and honey witches, and they are notorious for having like a rivalry. And this is about an ash witch that is causing destruction on the honey witch's property, and how she has to fight back. She is a brand new honey witch. Her grandmother is elderly and comes and picks her up from her family home and takes her back to the island to teach her the ways of being a honey witch. It was very cute. I love bumblebees. It is very cozy. There is, like, of course, some tension in there, but it's really not a lot of tension, so it's not like super high stakes. The next book that I have is The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. It was really good. If you like historical fiction, if you like general fiction, and if you're interested in the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl taking place in the Texas and California areas. If you do not like that, don't read this. It is very slow. If you do not like that, don't read this. This is a very, very historically dense, slow character study about what it was like to live in the Dust Bowl and then to travel to California to try to have a better life, and what happens to the migrants coming into California during this time, because they call them Okies. They got a lot of people from Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, that Dust Bowl area. They got a lot of them that came through to California to try to get a better life, but the people in California don't want them because there's too many of them and they don't have enough jobs to go around. This also talks about the camps that they used to have, where you basically pay to live at a camp. They give you your food, they give you your housing. It sounds great in theory until you realize that you are never going to get out of the camp. You're completely always going to be indebted to these camps. They have talked about restarting these camps. I guess there's a bunch of, like Amazon is one of them. There's a couple of companies that are looking at buying property up in Northern California because they want to reinstate these. And I've seen a lot of people be like, oh my God, that's a great idea. I would love to live in a nice house and have a job. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds great until you realize that you can't move, you can't relocate, and you can't ever move up in the company. You're never going to make enough to get out because you're never going to have anything left. You're just working to buy food and live in this house. And for some people who don't have anything, it's a great option. But for other people who don't want that to be their only option, it's not great. So it's really interesting to see now how history is already repeating itself and people don't really know a lot about these camps. So this book definitely goes into those. Again, it's historical fiction, it is slow, it's a character study, it's about America during the Depression and the Dust Bowl. If you're not interested in those, don't read it because you're not going to like it. But if you are interested in those, definitely read it. And the audiobook is superb. The narrator is wonderful. Next we have The Wishing Game. I'm going to be completely honest. I gave this a good rating, but I don't remember what it's about now. Oh, okay, got it. I had to refresh myself. So this is about a children's book author who suddenly comes out with a new book after years of not writing, and has a competition that he's going to have people from his like fan base that have written to him in the past are going to come to this island with the ability to walk away with the manuscript for the new book and sell it, keep it, do whatever they want to with it. I really liked it. It gets a lot of bad backlash about like targeting children and inappropriate relationships between adults and children. As an abused child who did have an adult who tried to help and my mom distrusted, let me just say that this does not feel abusive. So if you don't know, brief synopsis, I was really badly abused by my stepfather. I had this Baptist, I think, minister who would come around to our neighborhood because we lived in this really bad neighborhood and pick us up, take us to church. He would feed us. He would take us to go play like tennis and go swimming and do these normal activities that we weren't able to do living in this crappy area. But he would feed us. He would take us to church 3 times a week. And he'd always bring us snacks and stuff like that. I actually can't eat bread pudding now because of him though, because I got really sick. And he gave me bread pudding and I didn't know I was sick yet. And then I got sick after eating the bread pudding, not because of the bread pudding. And now I can't eat bread pudding. But he was really great and he was wonderful and he was trying to help us. And my mom thought it was weird and wouldn't let me go, thinking that I was going to be abused by this man. No, I'm abused to the one that you're living with, not the one that's treating me well. So he reminds me of that minister. It's one of the few times in my life where I really felt protected and safe around a gentleman, like a clergyman, any man that I didn't know. And my mom kind of ruined it for me, but this gives me that same feeling. A lovely man who wants to help, who is a good person, who has no ulterior motives. That's what this feels like. But I have seen the people who were worried that this feels like grooming. I don't think it does. But you decide what you want when it comes to this book. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Of course, I did have to read the beginning of the synopsis to jog my memory because it's just been one of those months. Alright, next we have Fireborn, which I also don't remember. I do remember that this is a dragon riding school and it kind of reminds me of like a Fourth Wing situation. But I'm pretty sure these ones came out first and that they're just being re-released. That they originally came out a while ago. Yeah, these originally came out in 2019. So these definitely came out before Fourth Wing did. I am waiting on the second book to come to my library app right now. The third one keeps saying, hey, I'm available. And I'm like, hey, I'm not ready for you yet. So I am waiting for the second one right now. I do have all 3. I went out and bought the second one when I was in the middle of this one. But I'm just waiting for the audiobook. If you don't know, most of my books are read either exclusively on audio or I tandem read them, audio and the book. I do physically read books sometimes, but not a lot because I do all sorts of things with my headphones on. So this one I remember being good. It's a little confusing though. I can't remember exacts. The next one we have is The Friend Zone. This is my very first Abby Jimenez. I looked up which series to read first and I really wanted to read the summer one that she just came out with recently. But it says this is the first book of the first series and there's 2 trilogies. So I am currently waiting for book 2 and 3 to come. I think I might have at least one of them on my shelves. But I'm not sure. I've got a lot on my shelves. But this one was really good too. I definitely liked it. I had some definite friend to lovers thing going on here because one of the billionaires one is that way and then this one's that way and this one's that way. So we had a little bit of a friends to lovers thing going on this last month. This one is This Spells Love. This one is another friends to lovers that I'm trying to remember. Okay, I remember. Okay, so what this one is that she just got broken up with or broke up with or something along those lines. She got out of a 4-year-long relationship and she stupidly, drunkenly with her sister and her grandmother decides to cast a spell that she wishes that she had never met her significant other so that it would be easier to get over him because she never met him in the first place. What she doesn't realize is that her best friend is also somebody that she met the same day at the same time that she met her significant other. So she accidentally erases him too. And then it's her going through this alternate reality, waiting for the next full moon so that she can undo her wish. And she finds out that she's actually in love with her best friend. So very cute friends to lovers. The last physical book that I have with me is Muse of Nightmares. I finally finished the Strange the Dreamer duology. I reread Strange the Dreamer in August and I also read Muse of Nightmares in August. I am very proud of myself that I finally finished this because I read the original one 4 years ago, right after this one came out, I think. When did this one come out? It came out in 18. No, this one came out in 18, so I don't know. I know I read the first one and then I took a huge gap and I couldn't remember the specifics. I remember the basics. I remember how it ended, but I couldn't remember all the nuanced things about it. This one definitely took a weird turn, but I'm glad I finished it. I now have 3 copies of this book, so I really needed to actually read it. And now it's done. Woohoo. Okay, the books that are not in this stack that I also read this month. I read Missile Foe, which I did on audio, obviously. It's number 2 to the That Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon. I didn't like it. I was really up and down trying to figure out if I even liked the demon one, and then this one I really didn't like. I don't think I'm going to continue this series. The book is, the demon one is sitting on my shelf over here, kind of off by itself, like just, I don't know, but I'm really, really tempted to get rid of it. And the funny thing is that I love cozy mysteries. I love cozy fantasies. I love all those cozy books. These ones just, they're not hitting for me and it makes me sad. All right, the next one I read was Artificial Condition. This is the second book in Martha Wells's robot series. I can't remember what the book series is called. Let's look. The Murderbot Diaries. This one was also really good. It was really short. I listened to it in a couple of hours one day. I had just finished, I think I just finished Four Winds, and I needed something lighter and fluffier to just, lighter. I need something different and something short to just kind of pull me out of the slump that Four Winds put me in, because that book so made me cry. And so I listened to this one and my daughter's like, that's not fluffy. And I'm like, actually it's kind of fluffy because it's funny. And even though it's sci-fi and it's got heavier topics, it's done in a funny way. And I liked it a lot. So I'm looking forward to getting to the next one of those. I also listened to Stormglass. I do have a copy of this downstairs. I got it from Thrift Books. I've actually gotten it twice now. The first one I got in was moldy and had really bad water damage, even though it was labeled very good quality. So I messaged Thrift Books and they're like, oh, no problem, we'll send you new books. They sent me new books, and this one's not moldy, but it's not much better. I really liked Poison Study. The second book from Poison Study was okay. The third book was kind of a meh. The little side stories I haven't liked. So I'm like, okay, let's move on to Stormglass. The audiobook has a really weird like intro right in the middle of chapter 16, which was bizarre. So I ended up returning the audiobook because I even deleted it and re-downloaded it and it was still there. So there's that. Plus it kind of sucked. And now I don't think that I want to continue this series, which sucks because I really liked the beginning of it. If you've read the Poison Study books, should I just skip the Stormglass books? Should I muscle through and try the next one and see if that one's better? Are the last 3 books in the Poison Study series better? I don't know what to do. So I've got all of these books like sitting in my cart and to like buy, and I can't decide what to do with them because it's just, yeah. And then other than that, I started reading The Reign of the Fallen. It was one of my TBR jar picks, but that one I didn't finish until I got home in September. So we will talk about that one at the end of this month, beginning of next. So that is the 13 books that I read in the month of August. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything that what you guys think of the books I read, if you've read any of them, and let me know if there's any books that you guys think I should read. I also need ways to help get through my physical TBR. Right now, I just go on to the Libby app, I see what's available, and I just pick one randomly, go off my shelf, or I put a bunch on hold, and whichever ones come up, that's what I'm gonna read next. Right now, I'm reading, this is my current read. That's what happened with this one. I just randomly went through and put a bunch of books on hold from the library, and this one popped up and I was like, cool, I just finished a book and I need something else to listen to, so I got this one. I almost had bought it. I didn't buy it. That's not accurate because I was listening to it this morning. I think I'm like 8 chapters in. 7 chapters in. It's weird. I don't know why I think of it so far. Everyone raves about Ava Reed, but it's really weird. But yeah, let me know what you're reading and if you have any good ideas of how to get through my TBR. It's too big and I was doing so good not adding to it and I ruined it. I will give you guys a book haul soon. I also have a ton of footage from Disney, so I'm going to have to start sorting through that and see if anything is vlog worthy. I'm thinking I'll do like, I have intros for every day, but that's it. So maybe I'll do like a voiceover or something. We will see. Right now it's just taking up room on my hard drive because I don't know what to do with it. So if you're interested in my Disney vlogs, just be patient. They will be up hopefully at the end of the month. Yeah, that's it for now, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. I forgot a book. Apparently, when I was going through my notebook, I forgot to put in Own Me. So this is the final book in the Wolf Lodge series. I didn't like most of the books in this series. This one was actually the best. I don't know what it is about some of these books where they decide to be absolute crap for me until the last book of the series, but it was entertaining enough that I kept reading it. Entertaining enough that I kept listening to it. I got it from the library and it was good. I liked it. It really pulled the whole thing together and it had a cute ending. So apparently I read 14 books this month, not 13.